My name is
Hi.
Annie.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm good. Your voice is low.
Okay, maybe can you put the sound up on your device?
Yeah, my sound is okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um, my name is Annie. What is your name?
My name is Shaheen. I'm from India.
Okay, nice to meet you, Shahan.
Can you increase your volume a little bit?
Unfortunately, this is the maximum that I've got as well. So I don't know if it's something to do with the system. So I'm just gonna have to talk a bit louder.
Okay. Are you working with that sound regularly?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Your student don't have any problem.
No, not that
Okay.
they've said to me. Yeah. I do have another reservation in 15 minutes. Is that going to be a problem?
Yeah, I saw. Actually, I had reserved my lesson with my regular tutor.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm calling her since last 15 minutes, but she's not available. So I just
Uh,
thought that I'll talk to some another teacher.
okay, cool.
I
So,
checked. I checked your profile. You're helping student with public speaking.
yes.
So I want to discuss with you on the public speaking topic.
Okay. So, tell me, have you done any public speaking before?
Yeah, I've done it in my mother tongue. I haven't learned public speaking yet. I just someone invited me on annual function,
Mm-hmm.
and once or twice the social gatherings were there. Some national leaders' birth anniversaries were there, and I spoke on a stage for 10, 15 minutes, once half an hour,
Wow.
but in my mother tongue, not in English, because I'm not very confident about my English. That means uh, mm, means I was conscious about my mistake, so I didn't dare.
Right. Okay. So, well, one of the most important things is to remember that even native speakers make mistakes. Yeah. So, and a lot of the time, when people are listening to you, they're not sitting there evaluating your English. Yeah. If you are engaging and making them interested in a topic, in a subject, they're much more focused on what you're talking about as
Mhm.
opposed to is if you're perfect in your language. Yeah. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get to a level where we feel comfortable in talking. Yeah. Um, but we're not trying to be perfect because that is, a bit of like a mission. It's a real high target. And if we spent all of our energy being focused on that, then perhaps our delivery and our presentation would be affected as a result. Yeah.
Means you mean to say there is no need to be perfect in language. It's just a matter of how you connect with the audience and the topic, how we present.
I would say that you need to be able to communicate effectively. Yeah, that might not be 100% correct, but if you communicate 100% effectively, that is better than being 100% grammatically correct, but very like boring to the audience. you know or you can be very exciting to the audience, but they don't understand what you're saying, so again the communication level has dropped. Yeah.
Okay, what to do to engage audience, or to make a effective speech, or for effective communication?
Okay, so there's a couple of strategies that you could use, yeah, that are very popular. First one is about asking questions. Yeah. So a lot of the time people want to know the answer to questions. Sometimes it might be, how do I find a rich husband? or how do I get lots of money, or how do I have successful children, things like this. Yeah. So if you're asking questions to the audience and they want to know the answers to those questions, yeah, then they're going to be interested in what you're going to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then once you've got their attention, you need to hold the attention. Yeah. So you need to deliver with energy. You need to give them information that they find useful, interesting, different, inspiring, challenging, something that might make them laugh, things like
Means,
that.
yeah, it's also, I have heard, or I have read that during our public speak, we should not just keep talking on a topic, just imbibe humor as well.
It depends on your style. Some people, the other option is to tell a story. Yeah. Now, a story doesn't have to be a happy story. Sometimes a sad story can also, tell the audience what you want to tell. It's about
Yes.
maybe an old man who is looking back on his life, talking about the things that he did right and the things that he did wrong. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a funny story, but it might tell people about how to spend their money or how to spend their time. And this is something that, affects them emotionally in a different way.
Okay, can you give me a few examples how to imbibe humor in our speech?
How to invite, okay, so that's a good one. Yeah. So I think it's one of those things where, you have to think, what would make me laugh? Yeah. Sometimes it's about what people say, sometimes, often children say, funny things at the wrong time. They might point out things like, when I was a child, I used to say things about people in the supermarket. I used to say to, oh, mummy, why has that man got no hair? And, oh, mummy, why is that, person, got
No, but I don't think in public speaking we can talk things like that. We should set a standard of humor as well. We cannot means make fun of others
well, the thing is,
in public speaking. Otherwise, it will backfire.
but the thing is, it's about saying about how to, maybe it's not about what I'm saying, it's about how I'm saying it. It's about pointing out obvious things that other people might not have addressed. So say, for example, maybe you're talking about, the difference between, having a career and having a work-life balance. Yeah. So somebody might be so, really, really wanting to be successful, and they spend a lot of time on their career, but a child might point out to them, oh, why is that person always at work? Why are they never joining in with the games, and why are they never, playing with us at home? So it's about taking that situation and using it to sort of point out something in a humorous way, the way that a child might point something out. So it's about taking different types of humor and using that to show what you want to express in your speaking.
Give an example, please.
Okay, so you might talk about how, we were all at an executive party and there was, a lot of guests there, and somebody said, oh, how many days do you spend, on your yacht? To the wealthy person in the room, and he says, oh, well, I don't spend any time on my yacht. And they say, well, that's a waste of money, and everybody in the room was like, oh, you can't say that to this person, because he's the, executive, he has all the money and he's, hosting this party. But the executive turned around and he said, that's a very interesting, realization there. Maybe what I should do is sell the yacht and or invite you all to have a day on the yacht instead, and it was something that I thought I was going to get the sack for, but actually it turned out to be the best day because I ended up spending a day on somebody's very expensive yacht. Then it's just about trying to kind of inject into something that you would find interesting and different.
Okay. Are you sweating?
Am I sweating?
Means, where are you and how is the weather?
Oh, I'm in England and it's cold.
Then why are you sweating if it's cold?
I'm not sweating.
I thought that there's a sweat on your face.
No, all dry.
Okay, maybe it's due to camera shining.
Yeah, I have to have a very bright light for teaching. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's about sort of saying things in a way, that make you laugh, looking at some inspirations. One of the great ways to think about how do I structure my conversation is to look at some inspiration. For example, have you heard of the TED Talks?
Yeah, I've seen few TED Talks.
Okay, so often they'll use some like a YouTube clip, like they'll show maybe a cat trying to get something from the shelf, and the cat will keep trying and it'll fall down, and eventually the cat will find a way to get something from the shelf. So they could use that as a demonstration to say, in business you might need to have 5 or 6 attempts at what you're trying to achieve, and then figure out a different way to get what you want. So they're demonstrating what they're trying to talk to you about by using a clip from something that you can find available on the internet. So that's useful because it's visual. And often when you're doing a presentation, if you can show something visual, people will remember that more than words on its own by themselves.
Yeah, it will be audiovisual.
Yeah.
And two-way communication.
Yeah. So it's a case of, it stimulates the people because that's the way that they will make sure that they remember it. So use it to your advantage. Make it accentuate your talk, and make sure that, you use it so that it helps that communication, but it doesn't distract from the communication. Yeah. So that you're only using it in appropriate times, but you're not overusing it so that people will be distracted by it.
How to hold the attention of audience?
Okay, well, that's first of all, don't talk too long. Yeah, don't try and make it into a really long, detailed conversation. Yeah. Also, make eye contact with people in the audience. As I say, throw out questions to them, make them think. Yeah.
What if 200, 300 or 500 audience are there in front of me?
Well, it's just the same as trying to engage a 20 or 30 or 50 audience. You've got to make sure that your presentation is snappy. There's nothing in there that's people have heard before, or it seems that it's going on and talking about the same thing over and over again. It's got to keep it fresh and interesting. Yeah. There's a Japanese.
It's something different than usual.
Yeah. There's a Japanese technique called kuchwa, where all presentations should be no longer than 20 minutes, and you're only allowed to use 20 slides, and you're only allowed to spend a certain amount of time on each slide. So it's a way of kind of keeping your presentation punchy, because you're sticking to a time limit to keep people entertained. Because at the moment, we all have screens, we have, devices to distract us. So we need something that keeps our attention going, because we have a short attention span these days.
Okay. Is it okay to take written points with us?
What notes?
Written, just highlighted points, important points.
Absolutely. The best thing is you can do that. I would suggest that, that's fine. And don't try and read them, just try and keep them as, prompts, and that will help you in the future. But practice would be better than relying on notes completely.
I think your other class was booked
Yes.
already. I have taken your 16 minutes. Should I cut the call?
I'm going to have to leave you here, yes, today, but I'm going to give you some useful websites and also my details if you wanted to chat again.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
please.
thanks, Shahan. I'll speak to you next time. Take care.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye.